We're back June 24th, Wednesday, in the stock market, trades, and the market. Let's start off with the SPY. Got crushed today. 709 points. Dow was down 2.71%. S&P 80.15, 2.5%. Nasdaq 222.20, 2.19%. Small caps 54.37, 3.77%. VIX was up 33.60. 7.11%, 2.23. Commodities, gold was down 17.75, silver 17.59, oil 38.02, 5.82%. So the news today was I believe the IMF this morning downgraded the global economy. It's not looking good at all, basically. And then you have cases rising, coronavirus in Texas. Florida has been a hot spot, Arizona, a lot of the South, California. So it is not good signs for that. And then you had, of course, we were up here at the high from the low. I mean, that's a far run. That is a strong run. So we basically went 220 to 320. It's a $100 move. And now we're coming back in. Still the gap here. We tried to fill it, failed. Came up again, failed. Now we're at 304. And going to my other chart here, you bounce right off the 150, 200 day, mainly the 200 day right here. So it almost got to it. That is the next stop. That would be 302. And then you have right here, 296, the 50 day coming up. Now on the daily, the 50 day is trying to cross above the 200. See, it's moving up here across the 100 day moving average. So that is bullish. But right now we're sort of caught in this grind here. Here, are we going to go through here? We're going to test this low of 296.74 if possible. We'll see. This is the main thing if we hold here. Tomorrow, if we get a strong day, maybe we get a bounce back day like this. Total green, then come up. So we'll see on that. The monthly, showing a high cross, which is a change of direction, a high doji, which isn't good. But right now, everything's still bullish. Weekly, you had a crossover, which is actually bearish. From this run, 20 to 80 on stochastics, and now you're crossing over here, which is negative, which isn't good. We're at a high point here. We're going to high point all along since, January 19, these runs, and then we're going to dip. So this might be the beginning of, a downtrend here, maybe a bearish period. We will see if that comes true, though. So in the weekly, you're going to have to get below about 297, I would say. All these moving averages. We'll see what happens in the next, week, few weeks. We'll see there. So it was extremely bearish day. I thought a couple of swings would work. I thought right here and here we're looking good. A lot of information I put out on stock listed videos, but that changed quickly overnight. So I canceled all them swings. Once they weren't in play, I was watching, the pre-market and everything. It failed. All that failed. So that was no good. All right, so the SPY, the NASDAQ. NASDAQ has a big bearish candle here. After this, I told you it was a cross or a doji top of the pattern. That changed. That went down. Less concerned about the NASDAQ because they're completely strong with at-home working and all the connectivity with semiconductors, digital space, anything wiring, connectivity with computers and working. So, that's still looking very strong. So on the monthly, still high up here. It's a big candle, strong green candle. Weekly, showing like a high doji. We'll see if that changes. But right now, NASDAQ is very strong. Dow Jones is the monthly. Now see right here, you have the 1320 EMA. This is the 5-day. Caught in between here, very tight. If it breaks above these, there's no moving averages above. Below, you have the 5-day, and this is a 61.8 fibs level. Then you have the 50% retracement, which is right below is the 50-day, about 23,605. So we'll see what happens there. On the weekly, see that touch the 50-day, bounce down. bottom between the 150 day and really the 13 EMA. A lot of moving average here with that 29 EMA. So it's very tight range. So one way or another, it's going to drop down to that 200 day or it could break up. Right now, you have the stochastics very oversold here, but Elliott wave is lasting as a longer term indicator. So that is bullish. And then you have MACD, which is actually slightly that one candle lessened today. We'll see what happens with that. And the daily chart, you can see here 200 day. Look at this, right across. Couldn't break. This broke up, island top, and then came down. Didn't sustain the hold. And then here, and then this is 1, 2, 3, 4 touches. Can't get over that 200 day. Now we're fading down. You have the 50 trying to cross over to 100 day. 25,200. So we will see if that goes at a 61.8 retracement level. Right now it's bearish. The market is definitely bearish on this high. All right, let's go back to some gainers today. Wins was absolutely ridiculous. Look at this stock. This is a financial stock, I believe China. Popped up back in June. Then look at the low volume. See this? When you have a pop-up and low volume right here, and it basically did nothing. Then today it shot up 1.4 million and it held that first breakout, which was 20. It's amazing how things line up in some of these penny stocks or these garbage stocks. But if you look on this in the 1 minute, this is total pump play. Look at this. You have, this is a typical halt, move, and keeps gapping up. So you have move, halt, move, halt, move, halt, move, 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 halt, move, 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 halt, move, 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 halt, then move, then a red candle, then halt. And then look at the gap. The gap was 65 down to 42. Never play these. Don't even I would play these maybe 100 shares or less. And then just say I'm in here at 20 and then it goes like 60. So, because easily you could be down right here, 30. Even if you have 100 shares, you're already down 500 right here in that move. That's how ridiculous it is. Can you see in the 5 minute all the way up? And you have the halt, and then this a big move from 65 to 42. It's terrible. Then it was like chopping around here, move up, and you had like a symmetrical triangle, and then this didn't do that. But it was a crazy pump. Let's see if there was any real news. Wins finance stock soars after audit committee appointment set to cure NASDAQ non-compliance. So they were non-compliant, and audit committee is going to make sure they're compliant. It's all garbage. All right, you had NCTY. This wasn't a move real strong. If you had, 65, this was a nice little dip by here. Then you had over 75, then over 85. Back to 75, then really ripped after hours. Look at the volume here. Almost 600,000 in volume. You have 11.6 million. The whole chart, though, what do we say, has been bullish. Always get your daily chart first, and then that'll give you a good time frame. If you want to do swing trading too, daily, weekly, you don't necessarily have to get back to monthly. But that was a really big move. PHCF. This didn't have really great volume. What was the volume down here? It was about 41,000. This moved over 3 and then really popped late. We had a few stocks pop late here before 75 and faded. SINT, I call this garbage gap down. See this gap? They shook out all longs here, big gap. And look at the volume here. There's almost no volume compared to these two candles. This is like football goalposts right in between. And it was nothing here. And then they came back today and shot this stock right back up. This is actually right over today's opening move, which is, what do we got here? About like 143, what is that, 143? First move up, and there's your line. You get about 170, and look how consolidated, right at 160. Look at these tails. They tried to push the bottom down, wouldn't work. And back up, and you have 230. And there's support again. This is why I use 1320 EMA. I don't care what anyone says that they're not important or this. Some of you use the 9, 12, whatever. I just use the 13. That's common, and the 20. It works for me. And look how this found support. Tails 190 bounced right up. Now we're sideways and bounced. Double topped here, 240, and then came back to 2 again. But this was a strong run all day on the 10-minute. It's even better. So see how far away? When you're far away from the 13 EMA, that's a strong uptrend. That's an immediate strong momentum move. And then back down. See this? You didn't even touch the 20 EMA here. You touched 190 and then finally faded late. But that's what you want to look at. Don't overcomplicate it. Make it simple. You're seeing all these candles here. Like, oh my God, oh my God. But always look at the 1320 EMA. See where you're at on the chart. CTIB. This was a move early pre-market over 425. Then you had over 469 and came back to 425. And then look at this. At about 13 EMA. Nice run all the way to 6. And then see, when you see this pre-market, you have a high. Look at where you came from here. It's almost like I call the pyramid play. You have up one side, down one side, it forms a pyramid. And then you have right here 575. If you're in here, you're like, okay. And then you got to get out around here because you see this big red candle and then another candle starting. You want to take profits. And then this massive wick, they try to push it back up here. That's why buying the open is very tough. It depends on each stock. On this stock, it's way too volatile. And people are like caught long here. It's crazy. You can see from pre-market. And then look at this fade. This was a great short all the way from, 6, 550. Look at this. So that's a great short if you caught it. HTZ, Hertz Global. This, I think they actually just sold news on CNBC. They said it was going to be used car sales from their fleet they have left. Something that's going to be strong, or let me see the news here. So it was, let's just any news here. I hear you. Hertz stock soars after Jeffrey says CarMax automation may swoop in and buy vehicles here. So this wasn't bad. You got to watch. It's a bankrupt company. Remember, you can trade it. You got to be careful over 130. You had to move here over 160 and came back down 140. Nice little dip buy. You can see here very low volume. Then start to pick up right here over 150. Then you have a shooting wick about 210, 220, and then came back in and sort of faded down. That was a nice long. That was a pretty quick move. From about 9 to 11 a.m. Their typical hours. Most volatile times going to be about 9:30 to 10:30. And let's look at NH, then at Health. This was right over 420, and then 455. Then look at that hammer candle right there, touched 430, and then bounced right up again. This was a really nice long. And the daily chart's been very long here. Let me put in these lines here. You got now a very high wick. It's tough to say here. I'm trying to connect these, but anyway, this is how it's looking here. And then on the long side, delete this, delete. And you didn't really have to draw line. The line's really the 20 EMA. See right here, just right here. So this has been a tremendous up move. So that was at MTC. You see this stock. Oh, this is a crazy stock. Look at this. June went all the way up. Formed high above 750. Look at this candle next day. This went from 7 to 3. That's a total scam pump play. So you can tell on a chart. If the candles look so ridiculous, you can tell. That's what you got to learn when you're trading stocks, which stocks are pumps. And look at this right here. It found support at 132. Look how oversold in stochastics, 3.24. Great volume today. It finally did something after just a long run down. Still tough to trade intraday. Those very large candles. Not really a chart I would trade though. JAKK. This wasn't bad. Right over 90 cents. Quick pop. Excuse me, to 125. then came back down and started to fade a little bit. Well, this was a quick trade. Sometimes trades won't last all day. This trade could have lasted maybe 9:35 to 9:55, maybe 20 minutes. This is very choppy spikes. Look at these spikes up, spikes. But the whole trend's been up. Don't let that fool you. And the volume's been up very large in the up days. HHT, it's a penny play. They're trying to push it towards one. It's got to hold one. This was immediate spike up, then double top came down. Well, these trades are so quick. I really like longer term trades. I want to hold it, at least probably, I would say over 15 minutes. You get them long plays. I want to like 15 minutes to hours. You get a real long play, or you can gain a lot of profit. These are quick plays, a lot of profit, but it's very fast. TTNP, Titan Pharmaceuticals, penny play, 34, a little 44. Penny plays, you don't really play, unless the whole market's just dead and you have to go to penny plays. There's no need to play them. It's just more aggravation because you have to take a lot of share size. WKHS, workhorse. And this has been real strong. So over 750. Nice dip buys. Look at this. Dip buy. Dip buy. See, a lot of amateurs don't see this. They'll see us coming down. They'll get spooked out. But there's no reason to sell. Lower volume. You can see here lower volume here, and then it comes back up on higher volume. And then had another move right over 9, like an ascending triangle. Eventually like peak near 10, right at 10 exactly. This is a very good long. This is the type of play I would like to play. So you have 10, it's almost 2, it's like a 4-hour play. And, excuse me, very good long all day. And look at the daily chart. See, the daily chart is always the clue to it. Look at this volume increase. Stair step, and then really it's like a high step elevator. And this baby went up and up. Ever since June, when you had the 13 EMA sort of detaching from the 20 EMA, separating, and there's no real sell right here. And then look at that, touch 10 exactly. So you can look at the daily chart and see, yeah, in the next few days, if it stops riding up, and that's a clue, keep that on your watch list. NVY. This is not bad, $1 stock. And this came in 90 cents, 125, really full candle day. So this was a really strong move. Pound 108 and then spiked late. VXRT, this was solid right over 270, 295. And really broke that 3 mark and then came up and still going after hours, 340. This was a very good long. Draw your lines here. Really, there's a new low here. But see this? This is a giant ascending triangle. So you can see here, look at this, spike up, but the low keeps getting higher and higher. So it's great for trading because there's very large moves in that. KBSF, this is a former spiker. See this here, spike. This is typical trash stock. Terrible right here to trade unless you're shorting it. Even that, it's very like candles are all over the place. VIR, this is a more classic chart. You had from yesterday, look at this, right over 41, about 76. Double top, broke the double top. You had first move. You should never get in on the first move here. You're like, yeah, you're raring to go. Always be patient trading because this happens in a pullback. And then we came back up. So if you get in here, then you get stopped out. Let the move happen first. You have all day to trade, really. Especially within the first 2 hours. When I trade, it's going to go longer. So right over here, you have 41. Look at that hammer candle. Hammer right on the 20 EMA 13. Look at that, hugged it and pulled back up. And this rode all day. This was a gain, you could say, from 40 all the way to about 48 plus today. 48, 28, incredible. And the daily chart on this was a breakout, continuing to put in higher lows right here, and really broke out. Incredible. FPRX, no interest in this stock really. It was a good move, but not much volume. Surf, this was a former runner. So you have higher lows here, really huge spike up on volume. They did 1.5 million, not great volume, but it did make a move from 520 all the way to 6 plus. Plug, no interest in plug. GNPX. This is coming out of this massive symmetrical triangle. And then right over here, you have 350, 364 today. Good volume, 5.4 million. As soon as this broke today over 330, it really took off. Hibbs, this is daily S&P high beta bears, 3 times shares. I've never really seen this, come up in the watch list. Direction on S&P high beta bear. So this is basically short. And this was, all the way to spike up here when the market was falling. Really good volume today, 3.6 million. And stochastic very high up here. So this moved over 750 all the way to 830. Good move for this stock. So it was a nice long if you were playing that. CHNR, load, no interest. Lake was a good move. Lakeland Industries. This had previous spikes back in March. Really consolidated the whole time, then a spike again in June, and then today we had 4 million in volume. And this was another like red to green, a little U shape. I call it down, then up. It's like a cup and handle, but not necessarily has the handle. So there's your move right here. You have 2110, and then it starts to break 21. Look at this, over 23. Then we break up all the way to 24.50. So this is a great long all day. A lot of these moves will do this. Get one move up, or you'll go down like this, and have like sort of like a snake move dip by. Some will do this. They'll flat top and then up again. So it's a variety of things to look at. BCDA. This is total. If you trade this, it's insane. There's no real pattern here. There's just, you see this spikes up. There's nothing here. It's short, but it's just not even a really good short to look at. BMRG, this really spiked late after one. Really crazy chart. Look at this volume. 93,000 that candle. Sorry, this is down the list here. Sava. We talked about Sava. Big open gap. There you go. Triangle. Another triangle. It's breaking out. I would look for a test of 350. This is a great long. I wouldn't be surprised they come up with something COVID or something has to do with COVID. I would keep that definitely on watch. Drip. This is S&P oil and gas bears. Heavy volume here. And this had over 530, right to 570, and came back down. This is a nice long though too, over 520. RVP, late move, afternoon, and then spiked up. Really just kept going here. This is a really weird chart too. This is like straight up, and then bounce held 20 EMA. SONN, this has been buried and moved a little bit today. Watch this for a spike near 5. AHPI. Let's see what this is doing here. This had a gap down, not a gap down, red. Tried to come up, very scattered chart here, and then came back up over 1150. See, charts like this, even though it's a direction you had to move down, then a bounce. A lot of candles, a lot of throw off signals, so you want to watch charts like that. OVID. This is right over 720 to 795 near 8. It was a great long. A lot of gainers today. Even though the market was down, different categories picked up the pieces today. So a lot of different areas moved. PRPO, this is like a total pop at 135, then faded. TVIX, I think they said it would be delisted. I'm not sure why, but I think next week, so be aware of that. NVAX, this was right over 71 to 80. It's a $9 move if you caught it. It's a great long. There's the dip buy right here. AEMD over 2, really spiking out after hours 250. SCO, this is ultra short crude oil. Crude oil was smoked today. So there's your first line. You have 1825. Yeah, right at the open, it came back down, putting in a higher low, then hugged that 1320 EMA and 1825, rolled all the way up near 20. This is a great long if you caught this, seen oil. INO from yesterday. This had another good move, great volume, 124 million. This is a tougher chart though. You have over 23, then really put in a tail here, then bounce hard, came back down, 22, and then rocketed it back up. But these are very large candles. These are taking over like $1, these candles, even more. So it's very tough to trade. UVXY, short term, the VIX is put in a nice like double bottom 34 about. Green came back up, found support again. Tall trend line kept going. Then we had to move over 36.50, almost to 39.50. So this is a nice long. FAZ, this is one of my favorites on the day. Direction financial bears. When the market is bearish, you want to go to the bear side, and that's FAZ, TZA, SRTY, SQQQ, SPXS, SDOW, SOXX, and that's what the market was crushed today, over 700. So you put these on your radar, just keep them aside, just keep a few of them. You have to trade all of them. Right here, over 1750, look at this. Took off, nice little dip here. 13 EMA is clearly above 20. There was no signs to sell this right here. Right here was nothing. There's a weak fake out. When you have that 13 EMA well engaged over to 20, cannot be a sell. The only sell, then this is a really good chart to learn from. When you see right here, it starts to go sideways, that's when you want to sell. Because it had the run up, you start going this way. See the move up here, it's totally in line with the price channel, the price, how it's trending. And this goes sideways, and it dips down. And try to come back again, 1875, and it's been hovering between here. So in 10 minutes, it's even better. Over 1750. And then, yeah, 1875, very far away from 13 EMA. So this can run in, even touch it, it's going to fall a lot. So you have about 1850. So in this, you get a 1725, you're going to look for at least a dollar gain plus 15-minute. Came down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles and bounced again and really held that 1850 mark. So you had 1750 to 19. It's actually, what is that? 1750, 1950, $2. It's like $1.50 right there. 219. That's a great long. Anytime you get over $1 on any stocks, if you had 1,200 shares, it's 1,200, 15, not 15, excuse me. 1,200 times 1.5, that's 1,800. If you had 1,500 shares, that's 2,250, 2,000, 3,000, 800, 1,200, 600, would have been about 900. So you didn't even need a lot of shares, and you made good money on this. So FAZ was a great long. SRTY, this is short Russell 2000. It's had a nice move right over 1140, all the way to 1250. Excuse me. TZA, this has more volume than SRTY. The same thing, small cap bears. So this had right here over 2250. Took off. There's your support again. There's your dip buy if you want to get in. You got 22.75 and 23, and then takes off to 24.50 as another over dollar gain. Great gain. BZQ, this is Brazil because they're having massive coronavirus spikes. They're getting crushed right now. This is short Brazil, ultra short. And this was right over 16.50, 17.50. That's a dollar gain. APT. It's had right there that 10, that little candle here, that hammer, and that really it's moved up since then, 10 to almost 20. So this has been moving upward. Tour, how much volume, job, SRNE. This is a nice chart here. You had massive spike and then really big candle. This went exactly to 10. Came back in. You still have the 13 minute hugging this 20. And look, the whole time, except for this, it really held it. Then broke over 5 today. So this has been really good long. What else we have here? Duo. This is, you want to stay away from charts like this. Total garbage. Just spike up, down, and does nothing. It's not even a good chart to trade if you look at it. It's terrible. SDOW. This is Ultra Pro short the Dow. Over 24. Nice pullback. 24.25. Takes off all the way to 25.50 plus. It's a nice range here. Over $1 plus. It's the same kind of pattern. APRN, Blue Apron Holdings. This was over 10.50. This is a nice long, not great volume, but it did help. SPXU, this is short S&P 500, 1190, all the way to 1260. Now this doesn't give XPXU and SPXX. They don't give great range shorting the SPY. Ever since they dropped off, you know, from here and here, they're getting the range on this. See this, 80 cents. It's what, 60 cents? You're not getting a great range, or 80 cents, excuse me, 80 and 80, 60. So I would trade more of FAZ, TZA, and even SDOW. They give better range. Here's another one, the same thing, SPXX, Drexion. Even if you're in here, 780, 835, that's not great range for that big a move. That's why them stocks are better for the range. Just want to stick to them. What else do we got here? Let's see, MaxR. MaxR has been really good volume. This is really found after this gap down, it's still holding kind of strong here. So this had a V recovery today. Could move 1625 to 1758. What is this? Pro short TWN. Might as well stick to the other ones. I'll stick to TZA if you're going to trade that. LABD, JFIN, MCSL, SQQQ. This is bearish, the NASDAQ, which is tough because the NASDAQ's so strong. I would stay away from that and stick to SDOW, TZA, or FAZ. You have better range on that. And on this, even though you had a good move today, it wasn't a high range move. You gained what, like 60 cents or something. All right, so that's pretty much the runners. Let's look at the some we talked about yesterday. Here's Hawaiian Holdings. Thought this was going to be a swing right here. See right here again, oversold. I'm looking here. We're coming deep down. This is 3.32, very oversold. Back here, and then a wash down here, very oversold. Then it's sideways. And that was the last wash from April 29th all the way to 515. And then 15 was a run up. So there's going to be another run. I think we might hit this trend line or the 23.6 fibs. We might go here. It doesn't, sometimes you don't exactly hit it, or might we go through it. We'll see. So that's on that. Hazel. See, this was a fake out candle. It sort of broke that trend line and came back down. Really hard fake out. And that's because too, right here, you don't have white over red. You don't have a crossover. So it didn't exactly cross over on that. ALK, very oversold, 645. Looked like this support was in a hole, but it didn't. Everything got crushed today. So deep, deep, deep oversold. All right, NCLH. This is the cruise liners. They're getting absolutely smoked. This is back here. Look at the same part on stochastics. This is at like a 10. Very oversold here. So this has come back from a high of 2691 to 1533. If you even draw a trend line here, it's tough. Let me see here. I'm trying to connect lines. That will be the last where it really broke down. So we will see. They're getting actually crushed. RCL, another one. This is full range down. This is where you want to buy, though. You buy when there's blood in the water, just like this. But you really want to signal. You want the crossover. You want white over red here. It's sideways now. Can't get much lower. You can go to like, what's my chart? Like -3. It can go that deep. Because back here it was 0.20. It can get really negative. So it's still in bounce watch. They're all getting smoked here. Financials. That is a cross. It's getting very close to a signal to buy, but still has room on stochastics. Call, still negative, very oversold too. Look at these red candles. What else do we have here? Oil, Oxy, after the run up. It's pretty much holding. This really is going down hard here. Apache, same thing. This is breaking support. This will be the last line of support. Really fading here. Look at some penny stocks. Bohr. I said the big run up. There's the trend line. Didn't break that trend line, so it's going down here. Not sure where this will go here. It's still oversold. It could bounce anytime. Might come back to $1 roll. So that's on that. On the other one I loved in, I still love this. This got crushed. Thought this was the move too. The green candle was a fake out. They faked us out. See the trend line? We broke the trend line, but we're still going down here. So on this, we're touching, we're sort of holding here. Just trying to double bottom in this candle. We'll see what happens tomorrow. 1480, very oversold. We actually crossed over white over red, so we'll see here. On all these stocks, I had all these restaurant stocks. I thought they could move up, but they're really still in that downtrend. Still, we start like this move here. Still, we before we get that move up, the crossover of white over red on stochastics, we're not getting it yet. You can get this will be early if you're in here because it really isn't crossed and gone up. So we'll see on that. So ETFs, TNA. Really trying to hold that 24, and I believe in my other chart here, the 50-day, there it is. Look at this, it touched the 50-day. It's like barely touched it and bounced right up. That's a good sign. But it's in this box here. Either it's going to break down further or eventually a break up here. So we'll see how that rolls. Futures, here's nail too. Nails coming in. You have 50-day support here. Probably bounce from that. EFEN breaking 50-day. This is really bearish. Just look for 10 maybe, or excuse me, 11, and then we'll see what happens there. Then this is really, really getting smoked. This was as high as 64.33, low now 38.20. This is a big move down and not that much of time. The 50-day didn't held. Right now, it's resistance. Look at that. It tried to bounce back up and it shot back down. So this isn't looking good. Just trying to connect here now. Yeah, touching point. So I'm gonna have to change this. This is really coming down hard on DIN. So you get looking stochastics right here. It's at a 9.92, very oversold. Anything you get below 30, you know, it's oversold. 20 is extreme oversold, and then just ridiculous oversold. Once you blow 20, it's really crazy oversold. So any news in the market's positive, this will push up like one of these candles. This will push up like 45, 50. So right now it's getting crushed. All right, here's UDOW. This is another one. Came back here. There's your support. Your support's going to be that candle. A lot of these charts right there. That doesn't hold. We're going much lower. SPXL. Same thing. There it is. This touched at a 38.2 fibs. Kind of bounced off it. PQQQ. This is a little better shape because the tech sector is completely strong here. Actually draw a line here. That would be everything here runs in line right here. See this? So we're still in an uptrend. PQQ looks way better. Here's Soxel. This held a 20-day. So we'll see what happens with that. FAZ. FAZ right here, you have 30. Important level here. Bounced off that level. Very oversold. It was oversold. Now it's getting more extreme oversold. Financials don't look good. Financial markets. So, Nougat formed the cross as 1, 2, 3 move, and it probably is going to bounce back here now. JNOD 1, 2, 3, then bounce back. So, there you have it. Where we're at right now. So the market's definitely downtrend. Get to that high, this island top. See this? Lower high, big gap down. Then we try to bounce up. Couldn't fill the gap. Again, look at this. Lower. Each bounce, and then we keep getting lower. So we're putting in lower highs. We're at right now. Where are we at after hours? We're at 304.80. So 304. Next move down, I would look towards that wick there, 302, 300 level. Let's go back to this. There it is. So 302 and 300 right here. If that doesn't hold, you have the 50-day coming up, which is moving 296, and then 61.8 retracement, which is 293. So we'll see if we continue down here. Stochastics, that's why I thought when this did this run right here, see this, it never got that low. It was 33. I wanted to get below 20, the full cycle down. I thought it was going to do it here. It's doing this. No, we could do that. Or if we bounce here up, I don't know. Leaning towards more the downside. So we'll see here if this comes down further. Like just the wash down. I want that stochastics under 20. And then even RSI, they'll probably get near 20. So we'll see on that. So that is it for now. So penny stocks have changed this week. There's a lot of different gainers. You had different areas of the market. You know, some virus stocks were up. China stocks were up today. Like Hertz was up. Different areas were in play. It was a collage of different stocks. And then you had bearish ETFs were strong and TVIX, UVXY volatility. So they were the plays for today. We'll see what tomorrow brings. We're in high volatility right now. Let's look at the VIX. There's a VIX right now. Like I said, as long as it stays above 30, you want to drift down for less volatility. It's still up. And on the weekly, it's holding that 13 and 20 EMA. See that right there? So volatility is running out. And on the weekly, look at this. It's oversold, it's crossed over. So we might be in for a real volatility ahead. There's the 4 hour. So we'll see. So that's it. Please subscribe to the channel and like. And we will be back tomorrow. Peace.